Grand Hood Rising, Kings and Queens, Trap Witch here. I am an intuitive healer / reader on Instagram, if you are familiar with me, if you are not. And I wanted to come and give you an intuitive reading for the Pisces new moon for March 17th. I have not been doing any moon readings for a while, so I thought it'd be good to kind of touch bases and do a longer reading with how we can go forth and use this energy to the best of our abilities so that we can move forward. I will tell you that Pisces season has been really fucking tiring. I did not expect March to be this trying. I know a lot of people are feeling that this energy was just like try and sink and go with the flow or drown. And so therefore it's been one of those things where a lot of us have been really trying to figure out what the lessons are. Pisces is very dreamy, very romantic, very sweet. Often, a lot of times, a Captain Save-A-Ho of the world. I have a lot of Pisces on my chart. My Venus is in Pisces and my North Node is in Pisces, and that can make me very idealistic about what I want to create as far as the world I live in. But it's often, sometimes you have to be a realist, and I think that's where my Mars and Sagittarius, my Leo rising, can come in, and even my Libra moon, and help me balance things out. But this has been a trying ass season that I will say has just been a roller coaster of emotions. And so for this new moon and making manifestations and keeping things in mind, I wanted to pull some cards and touch in with spirit and just see where they are at and how they want to express what we can do now to move forward as we go into Aries season soon, and so that we can use our potential and use our creative skill in the best way possible. So I'm going to pull 5 tarot cards from the New Orleans Voodoo deck. This is by Sally Ann Glassman. This is my favorite deck that I use to read. I might get me a new deck soon, but I love this deck. I'm very connected to this deck. And then I'll pull an angel card from the Doreen Virtue Archangel deck to kind of solidify the message. So what I'm going to do is going to tell you to get in a good space. Get a notebook, because a lot of the things that I write down can, you write down can be useful for later. I explain things in a very straightforward way, just straight to the shit. I ain't about the mysticism. So let's go ahead, get ourselves centered, take some breaths, get you a drink, get you something relaxing, and just kind of feel into the energy and get into a space. And what I always tell people when they come to sessions with me is just come with an open heart and an open mind, because all I want to do is just plant you with some seeds. Sometimes you just need that little spark to make you question something that you ain't been questioning all along. Okay, so let's get into the reading, okay, shall we? Spirit, we call you in on behalf of the collective, and we ask for the highest good of all those involved with harm to none. I ask Elegua to open the roads to precise messages. I ask at this time, what is it subconsciously underlying below the surface, beyond the veil, that can facilitate in their highest good, allow them to overcome barriers and obstacles, give them insight and clarity on where they are currently at on their path and their journey, so that they may have clairvoyance to see how best to proceed next and how not to go around in circles and take the new path that might be available to them in order to further transcend to divine purpose in this existence. I call in my spirit guides, my ancestors, my Egun of benevolence only. I call in any guides that are here to assist us for the highest good, so that we may focus our intentions and our execution in the best way and in the highest potential energy that is available to us to make something of purpose, first and foremost for ourselves, and then for the servitude of others. What is it that the collective needs to know most now to maximize the energy that is the Pisces new moon, March 17th, 2017. All right, let's stop it right here. I love that my two girls came up right next to each other. Okay, you about ready to get into this reading? It's a Friday night. I'm done my readings individually, so I'm gonna get into a little, tobacco and a little Cayman Jack Cuban mojito, some lightweight stuff. Let's get into this reading, shall we? I love this. First card, Ogun La Flambeau. Who is Ogun? Ogun is an energy and a Orisha of war, weaponry, battle. He's a great soldier, okay? A lot of times people forget that the purpose of war is often to bring peace. And so the Five of Wands, because that's what that card is, it's the Five of Wands. Here it shows Ogun. He's gone to battle, he's come back now, and he's lost a leg. He lost a leg, he's a little unbalanced. But guess what? They say he ain't at war no more. He's gone through some destruction that makes him better equipped now to take what he's learned in destruction, make peace of it, and put it towards his creativity. Five of Wands often talks about conflict and being either at conflict with yourself or being at conflict with other people, where you know the bigger purpose, but there's an issue on how to go about doing it. So if it's with other people, you might love somebody, right? Both y'all want love, but y'all got different ideas of love. So the ego conflict comes in on how best to go about it. And so the Five of Wands shows five people who all got sticks. They all got wands, right? And so they're trying to work together in order to make some shit happen. But they're so conflicted of which way to go, how to do it, that it's not coming together. So sometimes you got to just fall back. So if you're a part of a group of people where you just are agreeing to disagree, can't find a common ground for the bigger, better purpose, sometimes you got to fall the fuck back. Because sometimes you can't create a world with motherfuckers who ain't on the same page of the world that you trying to create. This goes back to Pisces, right? What ideals do you have for your life? What beauty do you want to see in your life? What things do you find romance you? And the word romance, you need to really get away from the big spectacles. What little things in life make life worth living? It's simply waking up in the morning sometimes and having that sense of peace and not being at conflict. And sometimes that conflict that's going on in the Five of Wands is in between your higher self and the lower vibrational cords that you need to cut the fuck off. You feel me? Why? Because those things are stopping you from bringing what you want to fruition for your life. What do you want to create for your life? I know it's not a world full of destruction, okay? A lot of times, and this is one thing that I realized. Yesterday I made a post and I said, do you know what designer looks good on everybody? Doesn't drop the fucking card. Hold up. I said, you know what designer looks good on everybody? Drama free. Drama free looks good on everybody. When you are well rested, when you are hydrated, you eating good, your money flowing right, that shit looks good on you. Your inner prosperity is reflected on the outside and into your life, okay? And when someone is in conflict with themselves, they're stressed the fuck out, it shows. It shows in every bit of their life. One of the best pieces of advice that one of my mentors gave me is, he said, whoever you surround yourself with, right, look at how they living. If they ain't living right and they not living how you would want to live, don't fuck with them. If they life in shambles, the only thing you could possibly learn from them is not what to fucking do. You feel me? And so, based on the battles you've gone, the conflicts you've gone through with yourself, with other people, ask yourself, what the fuck don't you want to experience anymore? And if there are things in your life that are setting off triggers that are disturbing your motherfucking peace, you gotta let them go. You go through war and conflict and shit in your life to learn what not to fuck with. You think that shit is for you to constantly entertain? Okay? Look at even a boxer, right? Many boxers don't have a lot of fights during the year. Look at how many fights Floyd Mayweather used to take. He trained long and hard for a fight, and he got paid mad guap. Why? Because he puts his body through the ringer. He puts himself through stress to be in that ring to get that check. But guess what? Every time he goes through a match, every time he goes through a battle or a war, he knows how to go back to the ring and work smarter and maneuver his mechanisms. And based on the battles he's gone through, he now knows how to fight more effortlessly. I never used to fuck with Floyd because I thought he was real arrogant, but I realized that he mastered how to be at peace. There's a book called The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And he says, if you know the enemy but not yourself, you could possibly kind of win. But ultimately, someone who doesn't know themselves and doesn't know the enemy, they'll always lose. You got to know yourself and you got to know your enemy. But first and foremost, if you know yourself, you'll always fucking win. And so what do you know about yourself that is good, that you want to continue to move forward with, and what you want to create with, and the shit that you know that no longer motherfucking serves the world that you're trying to bring to fruition? You got to let it go. Why? Yemaya comes up secondly. Yemaya is the Orisha, the mother of all. She is pregnant. Can you see her? The light out here is not great. She is pregnant. She is the mother of all. She is filled with bounty. But look at her. She's dark. What I like about her being dark in regards to this is that your shadows, you can bring so much to fruition from the shadows that you overcome. Because from that darkness comes light. You have to navigate through the darkness and go through bad things and go through battles to know what is good in your life and what is worth holding on to. And so the Nine of Pentacles bring you to fruition shit that's good for your life and love and luxury and happiness and all those great things. But what you want to bring to fruition, that baby of prosperity you trying to carry, you know, the only thing fucking with it is the conflict. When a woman is pregnant, she got to make sacrifices. You feel me? She got to give up shit that she knows is going to possibly miscarry the pregnancy. She got to give up certain activities, certain foods, certain sacrifices to come into that blessing. It's a sacrament. What you willing to sacrifice to get what you want. Some of y'all like the drama too fucking much. Some of y'all like the battle. Some of y'all fucking play with the drama for sport. That shit's tiring, and guess what it does? Third card, Oshun, reverse. Oshun, the Orisha of unconditional love, prosperity, wealth, sex, fertility. It blocks all that. It blocks unconditional love for yourself. It blocks your prosperity. It blocks the sweetness of a life. It blocks the good things you could have that is luxurious. Like I said, drape yourself in drama free. Because some of us have ourselves out here in these streets looking real motherfucking cheap. Looking like we done gone through some shit. Looking like we going through some shit that we don't have to go to. It's a choice. But you know what this card says? What I love about this card, it says in the book, it says, sometimes we are disappointed in the solid form that love takes. Love for yourself is one of the hardest things you will ever do in this life. Why? Because it's going to require making some sacrifices that are going to be hard. One of the things that I realize is that sometimes if you truly love somebody, you love yourself, you got to master the art of there's no love lost. But you have to ask yourself, what is more important to you? Greater than, lesser than. Ratios. You got to weigh the ratios, okay? Is my sense of peace less than the conflict that I'm dealing with right now? And if the answer is yes, you have to switch the damn mouth of the ratio. You remember Pac-Man? What do you want to eat? Because so many of y'all got your prosperity on the motherfucking tail end of that shit. Your prosperity's over here, but you got your fucking mouth to the drama and your tail to your prosperity. And guess what? Somebody who doesn't know their head from their ass, they gonna stay with their head in their ass. You feel me? Some people don't know what's good for them. Drama ain't good for nobody. Unfortunately, in this world, there's a lot of people that get paid off of your pain, suffering, and drama. There's a lot of people who get paid for you to be sick. Shit, I get paid for people to be sick because people come to me with their problems, right? But I want them to have prosperity. Some people in your life, they are fed off of you staying sick because they know you don't want to do nothing better for yourself. They know shit that they can't fucking do better for themselves. So it's like, but shit, we might as well all be suffering together. But why the fuck would you want to do that? Why would you want to be the tail when you could be the head? Heads or tails? Some of y'all think it with your ass. And a hard head makes a soft ass. Don't think with your head, and you will always end up in that conflict on your motherfucking ass. So ask yourself, what you're trying to build for your life, what you're trying to bring to fruition. What the fuck do you need to destroy? This Tower card has come up so much this week. There's been a lot of chaos. There's been a lot of destruction. There's a lot of things that have been coming up to ask you what is faulty in your structure that keeps you collapsing from what you're trying to build and the prosperity that you could have. Thing is, right? They say that a lot of rich people, you feel me? They buy penthouses. They say that people that live higher up in the sky are scientifically proven more happy because they up off the ground away from that bullshit. They're closer to the gods. They're closer to the angels. They're closer to what's up here. They're closer to an elevated state. As some of us, and I've been guilty of it, some of us are guilty of rolling around in the ground in the mud with the pigs. And some of y'all have prosperity. You got a little bit of prosperity. You got baby prosperity that you got right now. And you know what you doing with it? You fucking with it. You fucking with what you building. Because like in the Bible they said, don't cast your pearls before a swine. You done just got your pearl necklace and you're like, oh. And so there's people that might even be around you conflicted, right? Because they're like, I want a good life too. How come you got pearls? And you trying to show them and you try to fight them. And you try to cast, and they don't understand. They're pigs. They're rolling around in the mud. How can you do that? You have to stay elevated. But you can't continue to try and build something for your life on a faulty foundation. You can't have a one-story house with everything fucking wrong in the foundation and the sheetrock and whatever. A lot of people try to put a motherfucking roof on some shit that don't even got a solid foundation. And even if you try to put the roof on it, the motherfucker gonna collapse. What the fuck are you doing? What are you not doing? You're not taking care of yourself. Last card. Rada Unsi. Shows a woman taking care of all these little jars. They say they got the T-bond audras and your true authentic self, the essence of yourself. Where Shango and Urzuli, they come together to bring things to life for you. Urzuli Freda, or Urzuli in Haitian voodoo, it's a lot of vanities. The vanities of things you want to see in your life. Think about Pisces, ideal, dreamy. What you want to fucking see for your life. Shango is passion, justice, balance. What the fuck are you passionate about that you want to see for your life that's going to bring you justice and balance and a sense of peace? It's not going to come from drama and entertaining conflict within yourself or with other people. It comes from taking care of yourself, and it comes from keeping the peace to bring to fruition what you are carrying as the baby of prosperity that you want to see grow into something greater for your life. When people have children, a lot of times a mother, right? Two mothers right here, okay? Two mothers right here, Yemaya and Oshun. Yemaya a little bit more patient. Oshun's a little bit more fickle. You got to embody both of them. Sometimes you got to be fickle with motherfuckers in your life. People be quick to say, oh, you changed up. No. The position I was before does not no longer serve me now, so I'm fickle about my shit. I told you I needed this, and you're not doing it. So now I'm going to make it harder for you. Because if you know where you're going, people got to live up to your motherfucking standards. People gotta live up to the standards. If it's a reflection of your self-love, you know what you're doing best for yourself, fuck them. You even gotta say that to your lower self within you. The traits and the demons and the conflicts you're trying to conquer. Sometimes you gotta say, hey, yo, look, you ain't coming with me where the fuck I gotta go. You causing me too much motherfucking conflict. You so dramatic. The ego is so fucking dramatic. You feel me? The ego is so fucking dramatic. The ego's like, well, I want to do this right now, right here. What's better for you in the long run? Okay? Ratios. What's more important? Right? What's more important for you? Let's pull an angel card, tie this together, see what it says. Career transition. Archangel Shamuel, your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. I don't know how many of you guys are in conflict at your job with people that aren't on the same path as you. One thing that happened to me when I was younger, okay? I'll tell you this. When I was in college, I decided I was going to work for a telemarketing timeshare company. They used to sell fucking Hilton Head timeshare in South Carolina. Every last woman in that place, because it was all women, they all were cigarette smokers. I only smoke cigars when I'm talking to my ancestors and my spirits, okay? Most of the time. Every last one of those women, their whole MO for the day was to make a commission so they could get a cigarette break. I remember going through the training. I remember getting on the phone after my training, and there was a woman. And she was a sweet old lady. I could hear her. And she was telling me she was terminally ill with cancer. And the integrity within me said, I ain't finna fucking sell this old lady's timeshare. I'm not gonna convince her she needs to buy a timeshare right now. That's not my MO. That's not the bigger picture. The bigger picture for her is that she's dying. She needs to make the best of her life, but I don't think purchasing timeshare right now is... And the truth is, I wasn't working for no cigarette break. I was about my morals and my standards and what I thought was a reflection of self-love. And to me, doing the loving thing would be like, okay, ma'am, you enjoy your day. I could hear she was in pain. I could hear she was suffering. Why would I want to do that to her? I hung up. And so a manager came over my shoulder and she was like, well, why didn't you sell the time? I said, she is dying. Like, what do you want me to do? And I remember there was a luncheon. And I brought some pasta salad. So it was so funny. The way that they used to keep the morale up at this place was after lunch every day they would do the electric slide. Okay, so they're working for cigarette breaks and looking forward to the electric slide at 1 o'clock. For most people, they think, oh, okay, cool, that's cute. We had the luncheon, and sometime that day, during lunch, after I had eaten, I went over to the Kroger's, which is a supermarket, and I was sitting on the bench. It was away from the workplace, but I was reading the newspaper. I was reading the classified for jobs, because I knew I wasn't going to fucking stay in that motherfucker for long. So I came back from lunch, and they called me into the office. And they said, it's been brought to our attention that you were looking at the classifieds. Are you looking for another job? First of all, who a motherfucking snitch? Who's a snitch? Who is the snitch, right? And so I said, I owned it. I said, yeah. Why would I not be looking for something to better myself? Do you think I'm gonna be in this motherfucker forever? Looking forward to the electric side of the cigarette break every motherfucking day? If I don't have the chance to better myself, what the fuck? I said, you think I don't want to make better of myself? So they told me, well, we don't think that you have a positive attitude. And I said, you're right. I don't have a positive attitude about this shit. This is not my purpose. This is this card. For them, that might be a good life for them. But I was conflicted with that because that was not my version of a good life for me. And so they told me that I could leave. And what I said was, well, I'm glad that everybody enjoyed my pasta salad and ate all of it. Can I please get my fucking Tupperware back before I go? Thank you. And went out that bitch with my chariot blazing. I've left many jobs like that because I know where my passion and my purpose is in the bigger picture. And a lot of times my passion is so big I can't work for nobody, especially when a project goes wrong that I put my heart and my soul into. And if it goes wrong and I'm saying, well, what can we do better? What can we do to make this ideal? What can we... And they ain't concerned. I can't work for not a damn motherfucker that ain't concerned about the purpose, integrity, authenticity, and making the best, most beautiful thing and ideal situation out of it. And that's where taking care of yourself and having love for yourself is so hard, because you have to build your foundation and your structure based on those things of what's going to carry you and bring you the most joy in the long run. This is such a beautiful existence that we live in, but so many of us are so sad and so miserable because we sitting in shit. We sitting in a job that does us no justice and has no justice to our purpose. So many people are not brave enough to go out and live their most authentic life and create the world that they want to live in. This is what the fuck I wanted to do. I want Oprah life. I want luxury. I want prosperity. But I do want a private life. I want to sit in my fucking house and change lives. And then occasionally go out and bounce out and grace the people. Because I'm very much an introvert. And that's very feasible. Because guess what? I did it. I sat down on this porch with the only thing that I knew I wasn't conflicted with. Being in the comfort of my own home. Being in some comfortable ass clothes. And just chilling. And talking my truth. And talking that real shit. So many of us every day will fucking lie to ourselves. How many people going out on a Friday night with some motherfuckers they don't like, that they talk shit about, that they gonna get into some drama tonight because they're not on the same page and they don't want the same things, or they have different ways of going about it, and that doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just not for you. So stop putting yourself in alignment with shit that ain't for you. Okay? So with that being said, Pisces season. What are you going to do with all of that was just said? How does that relate to your life? How does that make you feel? If you are sitting there, whether you could be crying right now because it's true. That's fine, but don't sit. You done lost a leg, right? But don't sit there and tear all your other limbs off because you won't do better. You're staying in the battle zone. You're staying in the war zone. Get up out that motherfucker. Some of y'all like sitting in the landmines. And then you get rocked a little bit. You're like, oop, another one went off. And the next thing you notice, oh, you're losing your willpower. You're losing your compassion. You're losing so much things for yourself. And that's not your nature. To be hateful, to be angry, to not be compassionate, to be hurt, those are not our nature. But those are the things that we go through and the feelings that we have to honor to want to do better for ourselves. You feel me? I've talked long enough. So, with that being said, where my lighter at? Let's go ahead and sage some of this bad energy out that we're trying to get rid of. So I'm going to say a prayer for y'all, okay? Or we're going to set some intentions. I'll put them cards over there. And this is what I want you to do. This is going to be my meditation I want you to do. Take your left hand, okay? Take your left hand and put it on your heart. The Bible says this, and I'm a witch now, but if the Bible got a motherfucking gem, I'ma share it. My ex-husband used to tell me this all the time. He said, if your left hand does not serve your right, cut it off. So I want you to put your hand over your heart and tell yourself this. What you are putting your hand on in your life right now, that it's not serving what you feel in your heart is best for you, get rid of it. Cut it off before you cut your left hand off. Because they said idle hands are the devil's playpen. And some of us are sitting there idling in shit that we know that don't serve us. And before we know it, we're going to let the devil win. The devil is anything that keeps you distracted and away from your purpose. Okay? Put your hand on your heart and feel your heart. And tell your heart, I'm going to continue to serve you. I'm going to follow my intuition. I'm going to follow what my heart tells me is right for me. And if your heart says that it is not in alignment with those people or even the version of yourself that doesn't serve you, you got to do something before you sever what prosperity that you could have for your life that you are so afraid to just open your hands to. So many of us are sitting here with our hands like this fighting. We're in the conflict. We're in the conflict and we are so busy fighting instead of just surrendering and say, you know what, I relinquish you, I release it. Because now I'm ready to open my hands to the universe and what goodness I have to come to me because I'm done fighting. Put your hand on your head. Put your hand on your crown. Put your hand on top of your head where your crown is at. You have to do what it takes to hold your crown up. To make sure that motherfucker is steady on your head. Because when you fighting and you whatever, you rocking that crown. Before you know it, you done talk down on some lower vibe shit and you done lost your motherfucking crown. Why would you want to fucking do that? So if this left hand is not serving to maintain this crown and to maintain this good heart space, you know what the fuck you got to do. Stop battling. Surrender. And so we gonna ask Spirit to come in now. Spirit, we come in on behalf of the collective and we ask that we sever ties and relinquish things that keep us at battle, that keep us away from our unconditional self, that keeps us from bringing to fruition the prosperity that is owed to us. We relinquish anything that is not a reflection of taking care of ourselves. We relinquish anything that is keeping us away from our divine life purpose and what we are here and what we are built for, the missions that we are here to carry, because our mission is not to stay in a battle war zone that was just here to bring us a fucking lesson closer to our purpose and to keep us on track. We ask that our manifestations of what love and romance and the beauty of life that is for us come to fruition. That we ask the universe that it comes to us now that we have surrendered, that we are ready to receive, that we don't come no longer with our hands in a fist, but we come with our hands open. We ask that anything that comes to bring us drama, comes to bring us a lack of peace, that it is cast away. That no weapon formed against us shall prosper. That as long as we move with our purpose, knowing our crown and knowing our heart, that nothing that is in this human experience that is trying to come up against us prosper. And that only the prosperity that is for us be shown to us, and so that we may open our vision to see the things that are in our way and that we do not have to partake in them. Give us sight to choose our battles accordingly so that we don't get torn into the same problems over and over again, fighting with things that we don't need to. Let us be warriors. Warriors. The first part of warriors is war. So many warriors know that now that they've gone through war, they got the heart and the will to pick the battles, to know when to go into the war zone and when not to. The beauty of martial arts, right? Yin yang. The yin yang is a symbol of martial arts, duality, light and dark. A lot of people that are taught martial arts are not taught that we just use it. We do everything in our power not to have to use it. A lot of martial arts are simple blocks and disengagements so that the enemy can surrender. How many of you are trying to engage the fight instead of disengaging it? Pick your battles. Mr. Miyagi taught the Karate Kid, wax on, wax motherfucking off. teaching him patience, teaching him due diligence, teaching him peace. Because often people that choose to battle, choose the drama, and choose the most wars, they're egotistical. They don't know themselves. And when they're trying to fight you, they're actually fighting with themselves. Know yourself. Know thyself and what you're about, so you don't ever engage in anything that isn't a reflection of that. So Spirit, we ask tonight, on the day of love, Friday, love, anything that is not a reflection of self-love, relinquish it. I ask that I relinquish it, that we relinquish it. And so we say this. There's a very popular saying that all acts of self-love are my ritual. And so therefore, anything that's not a reflection of your self-love, that's not a ritual you engage in. You don't engage in ritual drama, ritual fight, ritual anything that is not the spell that you are trying to cast. Okay? Ashe. I want to give thanks and veneration to my spirits that have come through, that have opened the way for me to be a vessel for this message and for this yeah, whew, that felt like that was a good one. That was really good. So if you want to book a one-on-one session with me, www.thetrapwitch.com. And you can also follow me on Instagram, The Trap Witch. I'm going to begin to give webinars. I'm doing my first webinar next week, Thursday, if you're interested in that. It's going to be called, you know, the weapon of success, the weapon that we've been sleeping on in its creation. Divine feminine energy. A lot of us operate too much in negative masculine energy. I myself used to be one of those people. I still struggle with it. But I've come up with a course that I think can be really helpful for people in seducing the universe to bring you what you want. Okay? So love and light, prosperity, peace to y'all. And I hope to see you guys soon. Love.